to Knit Habits. I'm so glad that you're here with me today. And if you are new here, welcome in. If you are returning, thank you for coming back. I truly appreciate you wanting to spend some time with me and my makes, and just to see what I've been doing over here in my Yarnie corner of the YouTubes, as people say. So thank you for coming in. I have a couple of finished objects, some works in progress, a new cast on, and that is about it today. Not a ton to show, but some. So I figured I would jump on here and distract myself from the news of the world and the things that are happening around us. So enough on that topic. And there is going to be some therapy talk at the end of this one as well. So glad to have you in. And so let's jump into a few things. What I am wearing. I am wearing the Bella Rose shawl by Amba O'Brien. And this is a single skein shawl, and I actually made two of these. One of them I gave away to my friend, hey Carrie, if you're watching, and she was able to sell it for a family in need. They were doing kind of an auction kind of thing, and so they were able to get that. So, but this one is, I definitely wanted to keep this one. Number one, my mom really loved it. She saw it when I was working on it. She really loved the color of it, and I definitely wanted to keep it. Plus, I had been keeping this yarn. You know, it's one of those ones that's in your stash that's just kind of a special yarn that you want to keep, and you're just not sure what you want to do, but it's so special you don't necessarily want to use it. But when I saw the Bella Rose shawl by Amba O'Brien, I thought, oh, this is going to be perfect for that. So it's garter stitch overall, and then it has this beautiful, lovely lace detail that you put in at the end. And it runs the whole thing. It's a crescent shape, and it's just absolutely stunningly beautiful. I just absolutely love this. And it's soft and squishy, and as you can, I don't know if you can tell or not, but there's a little bit of a halo to this. There's a little bit of a fuzz, and it's just a single yarn. It doesn't have mohair or anything with it, but it's just one of those easy to wear one skein shawls that, you know, don't take up a ton of room, and it's not a schlanket, so you can kind of wear it easy. So really beautiful. And this is made from yarn by Yarn Cafe Creations. And this is called Manicure. It's on the Frappe Fingering 1 ply. There you go. So it is 56% superwash merino wool, 44% mohair silk, or super kid mohair actually is what it says. And of course I have to put my glasses on because I can't see anything with my old eyes anymore. But this is it was 393 yards, 100 grams. I still have some left over. I didn't measure it, so I don't know how much it is. But if you see this on her, if she still has her Frappe base, Yarn Cafe Creations, I would definitely recommend making this pattern with this. And it was just a beautiful light pink color with just a little bit of, and you can kind of see the halo there, right here. A little bit of a halo on that. So that is what I am wearing. Okay, finished objects. So we'll start with the socks. You saw these last time. These are, and I'm just looking at my notes. These are the Home for Christmas socks. I started these on, I have a mess, sorry. These are the Home for Christmas socks. I started these December 14th. I finished them January 5th. They are by Rachel Fletcher, which is part of Twin Set and Pearl. And I made these on the, if you remember correctly, the Yak Sock by Trilogy Yarn in the colorway Whiskey. So that's Trilogy Yarn, Yak Sock, colorway Whiskey. and of course I can't read it. 70% superwash merino, 10% yak, no, 20% yak, 10% nylon, 3-ply yarn. So in the colorway whiskey, and this was still available on the website, so you can definitely get that. So here they are, and I'll have a picture up, of course, of the project, the designer page of Rachel's page, so you can see them. But here we go on, and it's just this really pretty, of course my hair's on it, this really pretty lace pattern. It's a 10-row repeat, and you knit a row every other row. So you do the lace pattern and then you knit a row. And she does on the pattern have a heel flap and gusset. I did, of course, the shadow wrap heel here. And then I did the umbrella toe from Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears. So there you go. There's that. So those will go to my cousin. I did 60 rounds for the leg as per the pattern. And then I did 60 rows for the foot before I did the toe. I'm hoping these fit her. My daughter-in-law, who wears a 8.5, 9, tried them on, and they were a little bit tight on her, but she is sometimes tends toward that 9 size, and my cousin said she's an 8.5. So I'm hoping these fit her, because I would love to be able to make her more socks, because I have a million socks, and not that I'm not going to make myself socks, but I don't always need to make me personally socks. So yeah, so Home for Christmas Socks by Rachel Fletcher. Really nice pattern. Fun and easy to do. So that's the first finished object. The second finished object you saw last time as well, and it was the Clean and Simple Baby Dress by Pearl Soho. And if you remember, I made this in the Cascade Yarns Ultra Pima Sport Weight. I used a US 5 3.75. I started on January 1st. Completed it on the 15th. And let's see here. I did order some buttons from Etsy, which I'll show you. And I don't remember the name of the company that I ordered it from, but I will definitely, if I can, I'll put it up here, and I will definitely put it on the show notes as well. It is top down with linen stitch and stockinette. So yeah, so here you go. Here is the front of it. This is the linen stitch part here. It's still a little damp because I ripped it out of the dryer to show you. But here's the linen part, linen stitch part here, front and back. Those are those cute buttons that I got from Etsy. They're really, really tiny little buttons. And then you do this bottom part in the stockinette. For it's 10.5 inches for the size I did. I think I'm doing the 6.5 to a year size. And then you do a little bit at the bottom of the linen stitch. Now the bind off just says bind off. And I looked up a linen stitch bind off. I did that. It just felt, I pulled it out a couple of times. What I ended up going with is Jenny's Surprisingly Stretchy bind off. And the reason I did that is the linen stitch bind off, while it would have bound off more in pattern with this, it just felt really tight, and I didn't want her to have something where, the baby couldn't kick her legs or it just felt restricting in any way, sort of way. So, did it in Jenny's Surprisingly Stretchy bind off, and there's the back of it. And I grafted the shoulders together with Kitchener stitch. And so what you do, what I was about around here last time on the front, and you do one shoulder, like I said, to a certain length, and then you cast on stitches, then you do the other shoulder, and then you join the two and you work the front panel. And then you do the same sort of thing on the back, and you work the back part, which unbuttons here, and you work the buttonholes, of course, if you want to do that. You don't have to do that. I know in some of the project pages I saw, there's a woman that said she didn't put buttons on it. She didn't want to put buttons on a baby dress, which I respect completely. But for me, I just thought, this is for a little tiny baby. It's going to be in the back. They're probably not going to be able to reach back there and get it. And, to each his own. So anyway, you do the one part here, and then you do this part, and then you do a 3-needle bind off basically here to join the two pieces together, and that's how you make that back part there. So this is super, super cute. I'm looking forward to getting that out. I just so you know, I have not worked on the sock monkey. I had been waiting for Knit Picks to get in the front mouth red, like in a red color in that tweed, and they weren't getting it back in, and weren't getting it in, and weren't getting it in. So finally I ordered some. It's supposed to be in today. There's no mail at the moment. When I went out there in the 25-degree here in North Carolina, we're actually in that snowpocalypse thing that everybody's worried about. Having been from living in Denver for 15 years, to me, it's not a problem, but I know for a lot of folks, it's a worry, but it is cold here, which it's not usually this cold, but yeah, it's okay. It's winter. It'll be spring here soon in the South, so I'm not too worried about it. But that is the other finished object I had for you. Let me see if I had anything else to say about that. Top down, linen stitch stockinette. No. Yeah, you just do the 1/2 inch of the bottom part in that linen stitch, and then you bind off. And that was done in a US 5 3.75. The colorway is 3810 in the Cascade Yarn Ultra Pima. So that's that. Other thing I've been working on is the sleeveless in Vancouver by Sweater Freak. I don't know. Yeah, I do have the ball band on that. So if you remember correctly, I am doing this in XtinakYarnie. And this is a deep stash color. It is called Sunflower Power. It's an 8515, 437 yards, 100 grams. Really pretty yellow, browns, golds, just a really pretty color. So there's that. Where was I the last time we talked? And if you remember correctly, I talked last time about doing the provisional cast on the barber cord, and I did have that video linked on how to do that, so then you can just slip your stitches back on the needle when you're ready to do that, not have to like pick through anything to find your stitches again. They're just right there and waiting for you. So I do have that on my barber cord. I just have it twisted apparently, and all tied up and ready to go for when I'm ready to use it. But so just so you know, this is a US 4 3.5 millimeter needle, cast it on October 15th. And what Jenny, I think her name is Jenny from Sweater Freak, she says this is a multifunctional and multi-seasonal garment. She says it can be worn as a sleeveless wrap or cardigan, or as a summer top. And like I said, I will link that video on how to do the provisional cast on with the barber cord again, because I found that to be really helpful. So we have the armholes here, as I had shown last time, with the lace pattern. I think she calls it an Orenburg. I might be butchering that name, but I'll put it up if I can. And lace pattern. It's a really neat pattern. If you can kind of tell, it looks the same sort of on both sides. And it almost has like a 3D effect to it. It's really like, it just has a neat depth to it. It's really a cool pattern. So that's that. And then you have the other one, and then you do a little bit of stockinette after the sleeve, and then you do the lace pattern for a certain amount of, it's worked flat, so you do it a certain amount of times. You do it's a 4-row repeat pattern. Then you do like 30 something rounds of stockinette, and then you do that again and again. And so where was I the last time? Last time I was here, we have this stitch marker that is just a Harry Potter lightning bolt. So that's where I was last time. So I did all of this stockinette, and then I mostly threw this pattern again, and then I'll do another thing of stockinette, and then another one of these, and then I believe, if I remember correctly, I'm going to then Kitchener the stitches together here. So this should be done the next time I record, I would think. And I will put, of course, a picture up for you to see the finished, so you can kind of see what she's talking about with it being multifunctional and multi-seasonal. You know, you could wear it in, you know, next to the fire in, you know, summer if you're out camping or something, and just kind of to keep warm, or you're out doing something and it gets cold in the evening, you just throw it on. So it's going to be, I think, a really neat piece, and just very different. So that is the other thing that I have been working on. And last, well, not last, I have 2 more things for you. One of them is a sock that I cast on. Let me find, sorry about this, let me find the yarn. Yeah. So this is a Sock Obsession yarn. And the colorway is called Head Turner. Yeah. And it is a 75-25 4-ply yarn. And these, of course, are my colors, right? Yellow, orange, there's some purple, pink, green, blue. It's just really, really pretty colorway. And with this, I am doing String of Lights socks by Sock Witchery in the Sock Obsession yarn. What do they say about it? They say it's an easy to memorize knit and purl pattern. I would just say it's kind of potato chippy and easy. I did cast this on January 7th. I have not been working on it a ton, I will say, but I worked on it a little bit. Really cool pattern, easy to do, knits and purls. I believe that the pattern calls for 15 rounds of 2x2 rib, and then you go into the pattern there. Of course, I will probably do my shadow wrap heel and umbrella toe as I usually do. I am doing these on US 1 2.25, and that is how that is working up. And these are most likely for me. I don't know almost anybody else that would want these colors, but I love them, and I think they're working up really cool. Really neat, easy to do pattern. So I pull this one out a lot of the time when, you know, nothing much is going on, and I don't, you know, I can listen to somebody talking and, you know, picking up what they're saying, but, you know, still have my fingers busy. So I'm not just sitting there being fidgety with nothing to do. So String of Lights socks by Sock Witchery, if you're interested. And these are living in a bag. I think this one is by, yeah, this one's by Knit for Brains. It's a spring bag, but I just grabbed it because I love gnomes. They're adorable. So why not? So that's living in this bag by Knit for Brains. And if I could get it closed, there we go. There you go. Next thing I cast on, I have been itching to make a garment. I really wanted to make a sweater, and I was looking around for things. I had an idea of some Knit Picks yarn that I had, but everything that I wanted to make with it, I didn't have enough yardage for. And so I was kind of getting defeated and decided I was digging in my cabinet that's over there, not this one. but that one, and came across this yarn. And I honestly, do you ever do this? Anybody? Do you ever just forget about the yarn that's sitting in your yarn stash and you go, oh, I have a ton of this. I could do something with this. So what am I using? I am using Rama Garn, Fennel, and this colorway, let me see here. And the Lento was a magazine by Lina Magazine 11, and it's now available as a single purchase pattern. And let's see, what do I have to say about this one? I think I bought this yarn from Woolly Thistle back in the day. It's still available there, so you can definitely look on there. I did check that. The colorway is 4120, and it's called Dark Red Heather. And it's casting a shadow a little bit, but it's really, really pretty. It's kind of an orangey red color. It's more red than it's showing up there. It looks more orange on the camera. It's more of a deeper red, but it is a 100% wool. It's 175 meters, 50 grams. So that fingering weight yarn I am holding with a very deep stash yarn. And I don't even, she's not dyeing this color. I looked on Chelsea Lux's website. It is her mohair, and it is in the colorway Cider Donut. And it is 72% kid mohair and 28% silk, 450 yards. I have 3 of these, so that'll be enough for the sweater. So I'm holding these two together, and look how beautiful that is together. I mean, they just match gorgeous. So I was excited to have enough yarn. I've been wanting to make a Lento. I know a lot of people have made a Lento, and I know I have wanted to, but I didn't think I had enough yarn, but surprise, surprise, I did. So very excited about that. And if you don't know about this, it is a top down in the round raglan increases. You do a provisional cast on to start with the collar. And yes, did I do that with the barber cord again? I did. Here it is. And so you do a folded collar. So you cast it on, you work a little bit flat, and then you fold it over, and so you pick it up from the barber cord. Now, I will say, so easy. If you aren't doing the provisional cast on for the barber cord, you might really want to think about doing it, because it was super easy just to pick up on my needle and start working and not have to feel like I was fiddling around with picking up those stitches. So here's what we have so far. I'm still in the middle of the, and I have it, sorry, I have it really on a small cord at the moment, but doing those raglan increases, which you can see there, and it is just making a beautiful fabric. I'm really, really thrilled with how this is turning out. And this is made, oh, did I put the needle on there? Oh, I did not. Well, I'm using what it says in the pattern, which I will have linked below. So if you have the yarn to make a Lento, I would definitely say do it, because it really churns out. I know this is, I think this is a US 10 that you do the body in. Let's put the ye old glasses on here again. Yeah, it's a 6.5 millimeter, so it's US 10.5 that you do the body in. And I believe that the collar is done on a 4. Really, really pretty. Very happy with that. I've got my cute little penguin guys, or gals, whatever. No gender needed. They're adorable. So that is living in another spring Knit for Brains bag, which, you know what? I love this bag. I will say that I use this bag probably more than any other, because of the fact that it has the wire frame and it can just sit open and I can kind of plop things into it. So yeah, that's the mohair there, all wrapped up. So there's that. So I'm just still in the raglan increases. I think I have like 8 more raglan increases to do before I believe I split for sleeves. So I'm so excited about this. I was just really itching to make a sweater. I wanted to make a garment. So there is that. So that's really all I've been working on. Like I said, I have not worked on the sock monkey, although I do want to get back to it as soon as I have that yarn from Knit Picks for the face. I just felt like I was getting close to when I was going to need that, and they just weren't getting the color I wanted in. So I ordered a color. It's not quite as red. It's called, I think it's called boysenberry or raspberry or something of that nature. So I ordered that because it would be close enough and still, I think, look good. So that is where we're at. So things that came into the house. Let's see. Stash enhancement, right? So the buttons, when I ordered these buttons on here, I wasn't sure which ones I wanted. So I had ordered these little tiny pink things, little buttons. And then I had also ordered, and like I said, I will have the link to the Etsy shop below, and I will probably just put it on here as well, on text. So I wasn't sure which size I wanted, so I ordered those little ones here. And then I ordered these cute little stars. Oh, I'm gonna drop it, sorry. Sorry about that. These cute little stars as well, because I wasn't sure which ones I wanted. So I just ordered both. And then she sent me as a free gift these really pretty, look at those. So who knows what I'll use those for, but came really quickly, very nicely put together. I will definitely have it linked below and she had a ton of different sizes and colors. And so if you're looking for buttons, it may be a good place to support a small business if you're interested. The other thing that came in, and I had no business buying, honestly, but too bad, was a project bag. And this is from Sassy Sacks. And what a gorgeous bag this is. It says, give coffee to change the things I can and wine to accept the things I cannot. And it has this cute little hearts there. And there's her tag, Sassy Sacks. Actually, yeah, made in the USA. And a nice strap on it there. And then the ties for the top. And really nice fabric on the inside. And there is a box bottom. This is the large size, so it does open up really nice there as well. And it does have a pocket on, let's see if I can show you. Yeah, there it is. There's the pocket on the inside as well. So this was a really good price, and it's a really nice size. Beautifully, beautifully made. You can see the beautiful stitching there. And she also, of course, put so sweetly a little note and this little stitch marker, this wine stitch marker. And I will have details below, but also here is the business card. There we go. So there's that. And then the only, and a sticker, which I got it, of course, I'll put it back here at some point, but less stress, more coffee. So that was with it too. So thank you for the extras. And I will probably be moving my Lento into this with things growing, but what a great bag. Okay, last thing that I brought in for stash enhancement was, of course, Knit Picks, I feel like, has a sale on something all the time. And I wanted to have some more mohair in my stash because I feel like oftentimes I'll see something and I'll think, oh, that looks like really cute shawl, cowl, hat, what have you, and I don't have enough mohair. So I did get 2 colors of Knit Picks Aloft. This is just white. I figured, you know, you might want white for something. 260 yards, 25 grams, lace weight. So I got 2 of those. And then the other, I just wanted to get neutral colors. I didn't want to get anything too not outlandish. I don't think any colors are outlandish, but I didn't want to get anything that I would be less likely to use unless I knew I needed that color for that specific thing. So this one's called Palomino Heather. So I got 2 more of those as well. And it's a really pretty, it's got like different hues in there. Some like a little bit of purpley kind of color and pink and falling over. A little bit of like a tannish orange color right there. So it's really pretty. And I figured, you know, these 2 colors you can almost put with almost anything. And it's just going to add that gorgeous warmth and softness that I think mohair is soft. I'm not a person that thinks it's scratchy. So it'll just add a little bit of something to whatever project I decide to put it with. So that is it for the knitting stash enhancement Yarnie section of the podcast. If you would like to stay for the therapy talk, please do. I hope, and whatever I talk about, if it brings you or somebody you know some help, I'm here to try to you know, take a little bit of the stigma out of mental health issues, out of the things we think, whether they're intrusive or not, just kind of normal things. That's what I do in my day-to-day, is just try to help people out. So yeah. But if not, if you're not going to stay, that's okay too. I get it. And I'll hopefully see you back next week. So therapy talk this time, what I wanted to talk about. I was looking, hold on one second. My dog Ginger's trying to get in. I'm going to pause it real fast. Okay, I'm back. Thank you. Okay. I had to let Ginger in because she was going to just keep scratching at the door and making me distracted. Okay. So I was on Instagram recently and I saw a post, which I will link below. And it was something about people in Finland allegedly teaching their children something called worry hour. And of course, took me down the rabbit hole of, you know, is this a thing? Like, what is this? And it goes along with something I talk to callers about often, which is journaling. And I always tell people that I talk to, I said, I know, like, I'm another therapist, you know, talking about journaling and how cliche could you possibly be? And I try to make a joke of it, but the reason why journaling works, and I tell people that it is because, you know, if you think of those thoughts that we have that are not always pleasant, not always positive, not always helpful, that just kind of rattle around in our brains, that it's like a mouse on a wheel, right? It's just running and running and running and running. And this technique and journaling in general helps take that thought from your head and put it somewhere, manifests it physical. And so it takes that worry from you and puts it somewhere else. And it can give you some relief. And so in my quest down the rabbit hole of the worry hour, I thought, oh, this is something, you know, I can definitely share on the podcast and hopefully it helps people. So I'll be reading a little bit here just so I don't miss anything. I want to make sure I get everything for you guys. So excuse me. It says the witching hour is a mental health technique where a specific limited time is set aside daily or weekly to actively write down and process worries, preventing these thoughts from disrupting the rest of the day and building emotional resilience. So one of the things you don't want to do is do this at night before bed. But it says set aside 15 to 30 minutes each day, not right before going to bed, for quote unquote worry time. Write it down. During this time, write down every worry, fear, or stressful thought that comes to mind in a special notebook. Contain the worry, okay? So once the time is up, close the book or stressful thought that comes to mind in the special notebook. So again, you're giving it that physical manifestation to be no longer taking up space, no longer increasing your cortisol levels, no longer making, potentially you have like tummy issues because you're worrying, okay? The next part is focus and postpone. This method trains your brain to postpone worry, allowing you to focus on daily life and tackle problems more constructively during the designated time. So what it says to do is you could answer some questions such as, what is making me angry? What is making me sad? What is making me scared? What am I feeling uncertain about? What am I avoiding right now? Because I think we're all avoiding things. What is out of my control that I need to accept? That one can be a hard one because there's so many things that are out of our control. I think that right now, the world the way it is, the country the way it is, there's a lot of things that are out of our control. It doesn't even have to be that. It could just be something in your own personal, private household life. And the accept part that says, right, what is out of my control that I need to accept? The accept part can be really hard because even though it's out of our control, there isn't anything we can do about it. So sometimes we need to just say, okay, I got to let it go. I can't do anything about it. So I can't work myself up, make myself feel sad, unhappy about whatever it is. The next thing is, what should I focus on? So you can take that and say, okay, I can't do anything about whatever that thing is. I have to just accept that I can't do it, right? It is what it is at this point. And say, what can I focus on that I can do, that I do have control over, that I want to put my energy into? And and then the next one was, who do I need to forgive, including myself? Because sometimes we do have to forgive ourselves for things we did or said or didn't do, didn't say, and move on from it instead of letting it fester. So those are just some things to think about it. And one of the things that I thought was really interesting, because I think it's easy to get trapped in this thought process of not to use it to invent things to worry about. So don't be like, oh, I need to worry about the price of milk right now. Like, just let it go. There's not much we can do about some things. So, and the other thing is like, why should you do this? You're like, Christina, why should I do this? Scheduling time for worry helps your brain recognize that there is a specific time to address difficult thoughts, which reduces the chance of them intruding at night. So you could do this in the morning or in the middle of the, day or whatever, after dinner in the evening when you have maybe it's a little quieter and you have some time to think about things. So you're not, you can kind of get them out of your head. So you're not worrying about them at night. I just wanted to put that out there as some things to think about. I will have some links below if you want to do some more delving or you want to see where I got some of this information from. And I just like the time, the scheduling the time. I've talked to people about scheduling time to cry. There's a lot of people out there that find crying to be a weakness, to find, maybe they're grieving something, or something has happened in their life, and they feel the need to cry a lot, and they'll stop themselves. And then what ends up happening is you just increase your anxiety and increase the uncomfortableness that we feel inside. And if we can give ourselves that time, and I've told people, set a timer for 10, 20, 30 minutes. You may need all that time. You may not need all that time. You may need more time. Who knows? But give yourself that time for that release, because we need it. That's why our bodies naturally cry in really intense emotions, whether it's happy or sad. And keeping that locked down is overall, over time, cannot be. It can be unhelpful for us, ineffective for us. And one of my goals with people is to try to help them be effective in their lives. And that doesn't mean that I know, like, my life is perfectly effective and I know I have all the answers. But certainly my job, what I have wanted to do with people, is try to help them feel that they can that they have more power in their lives, that they feel that they feel empowered, that they feel that they can take control of some things in their life, and just to be there to be a help, because I think we all need that on occasion, and there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. So before I go off on any more of a tangent, I am going to let you all go. I hope you're all doing well. Please leave comments below of anything that's going on that you'd like to discuss, or questions you may have about the worry hour, or if you have found journaling to be helpful. And I would love to hear about it and connect with you all. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, week, evening, whatever time you're watching this. And please, as always, give yourself the same grace you would give everyone else. Bye-bye.